All right, y'all, we back with another video. So here we are on the JP version, and this time I decided, okay, well, I mean, let's do a video, and I kind of want to do some shenanigans, have some fun with it. So I figured, okay, well, Domain Gojo had came out not too long ago. Let's just do a video where we try to use his ult as much as possible, right? So we're gonna go to stage, floor 43 here, right? This is going to be the team setup that we're going to be using. Essentially, it's just going to be a bunch of characters that are going to be enabling my ult gauge charge as much as possible. So we have Yuji, of course, his skill 3 provides ult gauge charge rate for him and whoever's behind him, I believe by 15%. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And it's for 2 turns, so you can use it a couple times, right? And then obviously we do have Domain Gojo, because obviously he's the star. And then, of course, we do have the memory to charge ult gauge for Gojo. Then we do have this guy, I forgot his name. He's going to be also charging our ult gauge with his ult. And naturally, we have this memory. Now, necessarily, we could use another ult charge memory, but I feel like in this scenario where I start off in the beginning, I definitely need that little bit of extra cursed energy for my Yuji, etc. So I use this because it does provide cursed energy for our entire team. Then, of course, we do have Inumaki, because Inumaki is like the best ult charge in the entire game. On top of that, you get damage reduction, and we put Unity on him so that way we can get that ult charge rate, of course. We have Geto last. Geto doesn't really have like a specific role in this team or anything. He's just in the back line just to be there, right? Because obviously this stage is weak to blue. And Gojo, however, despite him being able to use his ult and debuff the enemy, etc., he isn't necessarily your main DPS, so we don't really have anybody to kill the boss. Obviously, we do have the Yuji here, but Yuji by himself without getting any buffs, just purely debuff from Gojo, might not be able to finish the stage by himself. So we just have Geto here as precautionary methods, but I don't think we necessarily need him in this case or scenario, because we are only kind of showcasing how many ults we can try to do with Gojo, not necessarily trying to complete the floor, right? Not that I haven't beat this floor already anyways. But as you can see, this is what we're going to be doing. As I already just said, we're going to try to do as many Gojo's ults as possible. And yeah, this is the team that we're going to be using. So let's get right into it. All right, so we're here in the fight. So I did mention earlier that using his skill 3 for Yuji does charge ult charge rate. I did say 15%, it's actually 10%, so that's my mistake. But it is for 2 turns, so that's going to be nice here. We're going to be using his skill 3, of course, and then we are going to be using Gojo's skill 2 alongside the memory. I like using the skill 2 because it does give you, like, it keeps your team from dying, gives you that survivability. The main goal isn't to beat the boss, but the main goal is to kind of use as many ults as possible. We use skill 2 from this dude. We're not going to be using skill 3 because skill 3 costs 30 cursed energy, so we're going to be using skill 2. Then obviously we're going to use Unity and then skill 2 on Inumaki straight away. We should be able to get Gojo's ult within the 2nd turn. Again, we're going to use skill 3. Then skill 2. Skill 2 once again. And then skill 2 again. And this should be able to top off Gojo to his ult, which means we'll be ulting on the 7th turn. We'll increase it back to 8, and then the turn will pass, and it'll be back to 7. So here, it's just a normal turn. We just ult. Skill 2 again, skill 1. All right, first ult down. Let's see how many more we could get. All right, so here we're going to use the memory straight away because this does give us crit rate for 4 turns. Now, we don't necessarily need to use it at this given moment because we are trying to crit, essentially, with our 3rd skill, not our ultimate, because obviously you can't charge ult for 2 turns, meaning even if we do get the first crit buff here, it doesn't really matter. So I guess we can, in perspective, we can just kind of wait one turn, right? Because since this is only going to be able to last 4 turns, obviously extending the duration is probably better for us. So let's just use ult like this normally. Skill 1, skill 2 here, and then just ult again. I mean, it doesn't really matter here. We'll just hope for the disorientation to the enemy. Okay, so it didn't look like we crit him there. Oh yeah, excuse me, not crit. It didn't look like we stunned him, but we did. So that's good. The boss can't do anything. Very, very nice. Now we can use the memory. So this is going to give us crit hit rate increase for 4 turns. Then we're going to use skill 3. And what we have to hope for here is that he manages to crit on these skills. This is going to be really important for charging our ult gauge for Gojo the next turn. So we use skill 3. We use skill 1. We use skill 2. We're saving the ult for the next turn when Gojo is able to charge ult again. And then obviously we're not going to use skill 2 until we can charge ults. Okay, so he did crit. He did crit, so we did get increase to our entire team. That's good. If he could crit again, that would be perfect. So now we are able to charge ults. We're going to be using the memory now alongside our skill 2. It doesn't really matter which skill we use. Skill 3, skill 1, skill 2, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to be using skill 2 for survivability. We're going to ult with this dude. And then skill 2 on Inumaki. And we should, if we manage to crit here, we should be able to top off Gojo's ult right here in 1 turn. Okay, we got the crit again. So now here we go. All right, bet. And then we have the ult and then Inumaki's skill 2, and then we should be full. Yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely chef's kiss, bro. All right, so here we just attack normally. We're going to be using Gojo's ult again. And then we're going to be using skill 2 on this dude once more, and then normal attack. That's crazy. I crit on that. So I just gave everybody oh god's charge increase again. All right, so that's our second Gojo. All right, so we have 4 turns left, and obviously in 2 turns, we are going to be able to charge ult. So here we're going to be using our ultimate because it's going to be very similar, same format as like the last one as before. So we're going to be using our ult. We're going to be attacking here with skill 1. We're going to be using skill 2 once again. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky. I can charge with Unity here and then have this ult god's charge rate increase for 2 turns. But then I have the risk of Gojo not being able to charge his ult in time. So I think the best bet here is to just use our skill 1, excuse me, our ult, right? And then next turn, use our skill 1 rather than our skill 2. And then we should get, of course, a little bit more ult gauge because we just did a combo ult. Yep, so this guy should be able to get his thing ready to go. His ult. All right, so we still can't charge ult until 1 more turn. So here we're just going to be spamming skill 2 twice with Yuji. That way we can hope that we get those ult god's charge rate increases from the crits. Skill 1 with Gojo. Skill 2 with this dude. We should be able to get ult off with this skill 2. And then, I mean, I guess in the end, we don't really need to use it this turn. We can use it next turn too, right? Because he's going to be using it with his skill 2, which is going to be a buff, which means he's going to be the first one to go, right? Yeah, I guess we could just do that, right? All right, can we get a crit? Yes, we did. So we got the ult god's charge rate increase from the memory. Very nice. If we could get 1 more, that would be perfect. All right, so then we use the memory on Gojo so that we could charge our ult gauge, skill 2 once more, and our ult. We'll use Unity and skill 2 and If we could get a crit here, I think we should be able to top Gojo off in one turn. And we did. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. There it is. There it is. So what was that? That was 2 Gojo ults we did earlier, and this is going to be our third one. I mean, it is what it is. Bro is cooked. So yeah, that was basically 3 Gojo ults in one fight. Very, very tight management though. Very tight. Like, it depended on a lot of variables, like obviously critting with Yuji, so that way the memory can proc and give us more ult charge rate for our team. Very, very tedious, very annoying, but hey, it worked out in our favor. Every time we got to our rotation where we had to use Yuji's ult and then his 2 skill 3s, he crit both times on both of his skill 3s. Like that's hella RNG, bro. Like, imagine critting 2 times on every time I went to that rotation on the skill 3. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, simple as that. So we're just going to, you know, kill this dude. So we're just gonna, you know, finish him off. And then obviously we have Geto in the back line, so we should be able to beat this anyways. That's crazy. Geto came in for 1 second and it's always already ready to go. And he's above 60 cursed energy too, so yeah. It's basically over, by the way. And then Yuji broke. Yep, GG. Actually, GG for this guy. Am I about to get Geto's ult again? Bro, that's crazy. Alright, well, that's basically it for it. This guy's not gonna live whatsoever. That's actually insane how quickly I got Geto's ult. Like, in those 3 turns, essentially, I got his ult twice. But yeah, that's 3 times Gojo ult. Crazy work. Very difficult to achieve though, so don't expect to do it on normal content. You'll probably at most get 2 off. Definitely not 3. 3 was just under these circumstances. But anyways, appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.